Here we go. So, just very quickly as the draft gets underway, team, who are you going for?
It's a really hard one. Can I say it after I see the first two heroes?
Yeah, sure. I'll let you cheat. That's fine. As long as you promise to come back and see us another time. Seb, who are you going for?
I don't get to wait this first.
No, you don't.
Right. EG.
Okay. So, are we expecting techies? Do we think that CDEC will just be really cheeky? Fair enough. But that's
CDEC were.
Yeah, CDEC were, weren't they?
But they do get dire side and second pick.
Yeah.
So that's one of their comfort zones, and I think they're gonna be fine with this because now they banned out Leshrac. They get two, like they can see the two bans before they ban out the next hero, so they know they're already planning as to what their two heroes that they're gonna open with are gonna be.
Everyone has been banning Naga all the time with EG, and I think PPD went for the first pick, and rightly so. Sure, I mean CDEC they get what they want, but when you're EG, I feel like. You know, those teams, if they got that far in the tournament, they just focus on what they need and what, you know, they're confident in what they do.
They're both happy right now.
Exactly, but that's what they want. They don't want to, they're not afraid of each other's.
Yeah.
EG want what they're good at, so they probably expected the Leshrac Techies ban, and we expected it as well. So PPD was like, I'm going to force them to give me either Leshrac, Techies, or Naga, and I'm going to take first pick. That's how I'm going to force it.
Also, EG banning out the Gyrocopter, it might seem pretty standard. It's a very popular hero here. I think it's super important against CDEC. I mentioned it before in this tournament that they are the team that uses Gyrocopter in the most impressive way.
Tusk Undying.
They're going back to their roots, you know. During the wildcard stages, they started out with Spirit Breaker Undying every game, and the first 2 games or 3 games, and we were figuring, do they actually need to actually start it out like all the game like this? And they started to adapt, and now they're going back to how they started in the wildcards.
I thought that maybe they would go with a much different opening than Tusk Undying. I think this is the one that EG expect the most to come out from them, since they also played the same exact opening against them during the group stage. If I will go back to who I think will come out on top of this series, I'll go with EG now. That's from the 2 picks.
The late prediction was worthwhile.
Yeah.
So now when you
Still
face...
kind of weird that you pick Undying into the Naga.
It is. Naga is a natural counter for Undying for 2 main reasons. First of all, you can just dodge the fights, like try to delay them, because Naga is a very good split pusher, and with Naga you always decide when to fight, and then like mechanically you just sleep, kill the tombstone.
Yeah. And one thing I'm really surprised by is that CDC didn't pick Bounty Hunter. This is like their absolute favorite support hero, and for whatever reason they decide that they prefer Tusk Undying instead this game.
Yeah, Garder has played Bounty Hunter way before TI as well. He played it a lot and had a very good, consistent win rate with it prior to TI, and of course he had TI. He has been one of the most successful heroes at the main stage, if not the most successful.
But on the other side, EG is really not one of those teams. Like they're one of the best teams at dealing with Bounty Hunter. I think they probably have the highest win rate amongst all the teams here at TI against Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, they go for the tanky heroes against Bounty.
They really know how to deal with it. Like if it was one team I would study when it comes to how to play versus Bounty Hunter, it would really be EG.
Yeah, just statistically, 47 played Bounty Hunter at TI5, 68.1% win rate.
It's quite high, and if you look at the losses...
It's the highest of any hero played more than 20 times at the event.
Then I'm pretty sure a lot of those losses are against EG.
Reserve time.
Yeah, and already they have an opening that's pretty hard to play Bounty against, like Razor, super tanky and hard to deal with. Naga Siren also pretty hard to bring down due to her song and illusions.
I think they're going to go for TA though.
They're not even banning it.
They banned Wyvern. I think they might actually want TA.
I think TA is going to be a hard game because of the Razor. If they put Razor mid against the TA, it's like one of the worst matchups, I would think.
It is a pretty hard matchup, and Naga Siren is also a little bit annoying. If she has an ensnare, if it's a support Naga ensnaring you, that can make it very difficult. The worst case would also be getting static linked and then the song comes out, then you have no damage.
I realize that this EG's bans, they're very similar to what they banned against eHome. They banned out the Lina, Storm, and Quap, and they pretty much forced eHome CTY to not have any heroes left. And that's where he ended up with the Razor mid, where EG just picked up Windrunner or Windranger right away.
I think that's a pretty smart approach as well, because Shiki is pretty similar to CTY in that sense for CDEC.
Yeah.
He has played really strong and high impact mid lane, so trying to target him is wise.
Yeah, I guess we could probably see a TA or a Wind Ranger from EG themselves, because I do believe that Shiki, CTY, Sumail are pretty much playing the same exact hero pool. And when you ban out these heroes and they run out of heroes, that's a pretty hard situation to be in.
I think Windrunner would be a favorite here as well. Look at how well that would mesh in here. It's great against Undying.
Yeah.
And the Shackle Shot, well, we've seen what Sumail can do with the farmed
Ember Spirits. And that's normally played by Aggressive, I believe.
Yeah, mostly. Mostly. Shiki will not pick up the Embers often.
This is just a classic CDEC lineup. We want to fight you, we want to go early. And the Razor itself is a good way of dealing with the pressure, just in case they want to lane the Razor against the Tusk and Undying. He does it fairly well against those two.
At this point, what do you think that EG are going for? Like, what do you think is going to be their go-to? Opening with Naga and Razor.
I think another strong support and probably have a safe lane with Naga Razor +1. I think it's a lane that's very, very strong and that can always spam out. You don't necessarily have to fight them. You can always spam out. I'd like something to be able to disengage from that. So I'm not sure. A bit more control maybe on that lane, because they have a lot of diving potential.
I'm really thinking this Wind Ranger from EG, possibly. Right now they have some really strong heroes to fight against CDEC's aggression. When they decide to go into EG's safe lane, they have this Razor Plasma Field who does a lot of damage.
They're still Brood though. They're still Brood.
Yeah.
And the 3 heroes here are not very good versus Brood in the lane for CDEC.
They're taking a lot of time on this third pick, it seems. Maybe the Ember Spirit, they're considering to have more disables.
A good way to deal with that as well, usually you dodge Undying lanes, so they could also switch their lanes a bit and send that Razor on the off lane, for example, to dominate whatever CDC wants to farm there.
That's a possibility. The Naga Sanking is such a strong combination. It's not a very hard to pull off combo, and it deals tremendous damage just from those 2 heroes.
They ran that earlier in the tournament as well. It was versus Complexity, I believe.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Just the 10th pick at TI5 for Sanking. Does have a 66.7% win rate though, just 3 losses.
Do you think Silencer will be a good way of dealing with the Naga Sanking?
Definitely, I think Silencer is a very good pick for CDC right now, actually. And they've run it on the support position earlier this tournament. It's only them, I think, and Newbie, besides Virtus Pro.
ROTK's played on Sanking.
Where they played it yesterday.
Oh, the CDEC Visage coming out.
Is back.
That's so much aggression and so much fighting potential. When you're EG, you probably want to dodge that.
Like Winter said, they had the opportunity to take a Broodmother this game, but because they took the Sanking, it looked like CDC was fine with taking his Visage. I feel like if they had waited one more pick and they saw this Visage, the Broodmother could have been really good pick. But EG's idea of this game looks like they just want to counter fight when CDC start running into your jungle and...
And just to come back to the Bounty Hunter, because I just got the stats from Maxwell, so EG is undefeated against Bounty Hunter at TI, although he has 65 or 70% win rate, so they never lost to it.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
Interesting to see what EG are doing right now. They're trying to set up so they have Razor to be in the front line always. They have the Grave, they have the Song, very good saving stuff. And when Sanking has Blink, they can easily counter-initiate. The question is, do they have enough damage to really kill Ember quick enough? I'm not sure about it.
Oh, and that's a Wind Ranger ban. Seems CDC knew what's going to come next.
That was smart, because any of the spirits, like Ember Spirit or Storm Spirit, they both suffer against Windrunner when she gets Blink. You can get disabled and instantly die.
Yeah, right now, what Sumail heroes are left? TA, perhaps?
Reserve time.
TA works here. I mean, they have Dazzle for themselves as well, so the armor impact is huge in this game.
Yeah. And actually, Ember was also another Sumail hero that CDC took away. So unless EG find another hero for him right now, which I believe could be the TA, they may have ran out of heroes for him.
Well, that's partly also because their own bans. They're respecting Shiki, but that also hits Sumail. You ban out Storm when you have Sumail in your team, then you're definitely respecting the opponent's Storm.
He did play Shadow Fiend in the second game against
I mean, what if
CDEC last
What if
time.
CDEC just picked TA here? So what's left?
Actually, that is true. There is still Shadow Fiend left.
He's
I
not
actually completely overlooked this hero,
Oh,
but
this
they
is
can
Shadow
play the Radiant Shadow Fiend.
Oh, he's
It's
not.
actually
SF
really
isn't banned
good.
yet?
Yeah, SF
No,
is still in
SF
the
is
pool.
not banned.
Oh, it works well here as well.
Yeah.
It's a great hero here.
SF is one of those heroes that feels so good with Sanking as well. He does a
10
lot with that
seconds
AoE
remaining.
disable.
Yeah, SF definitely
Okay.
looks like one of the
5
few better
seconds
heroes here
remaining.
left.
I'm
Probably,
curious.
probably their best option though.
What does he play
Reserve
besides SF?
time.
He plays Zeus, but I don't think it's so good here.
There's still Tinker, he plays Tinker. But it doesn't feel, like you mentioned, good here as well. They are building into a lineup that wants to fight you head on, so it certainly fits.
Tinker might be fine. Like when you think about it, just deep push, like deep push lanes all the time. They can always decide when they want to fight.
There's
Doesn't
still the possibility, right, that CDEC just want to switch it up, let Shiki play Ember and pick Peel or something for aggressive.
They can.
That's also a hero they have been running a lot.
Feels like a lot of mind games going on between both of the teams. They're trying to really hide what mid hero they have.
Yeah, but generally they want a fighting core when they have a Visage, so you can
10
move away from the
seconds
lane and the
remaining.
Visage to actually take the lane. So
There we go.
it'll be the TA.
Radiant
So they
team
do go with the TA, and now I'm thinking if EG wants to put this Razor mid against the TA. Okay, so it will be that here.
I mean, there's not much choice.
They can just come in with support and help the SF last hit. So let's see how this plays out.
All right, thank you very much, panel. We'll be back after the game, of course, to analyse exactly what went down in Game 1. But for now, let's go over to your commentary team for Game 1 of the upper bracket final.
Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the winners bracket final here between CDEC Gaming and Evil Geniuses. Both teams one series away from finding their spot there into the grand final. As you can see, there's a fair few EG fans in the house, but I'm sure CDEC as well have, for anything, gained themselves a lot over the tournament because they have been playing some incredible Dota 2, and they're a lot of fun to watch in.
You've got to respect the story they have built for themselves already here, coming in as a wildcard team and then managing to all cure themselves top 3. It's pretty incredible stuff out of CDEC, and this is a matchup I'm really looking forward to. I think if you look over the course of the entire tournament, the team that's been the best at adapting and like finding solutions for problems in the draft has been EG, who seem to, in this game as well, have forced, I don't want to say they forced CDEC out of their comfort zone, because this is 5 heroes that CDEC play very well. But it's not the type of lineup we've seen from them in their previous 2-0 sweeps, for example, against LGD. They're going to fall back on their classic Tusk Undying opener for this game. And in addition to that, EG, of course, forcing them to ban the techies, which really influences the entirety of the draft because CDEC don't get that key first phase ban that they would have liked for something else.
Yeah, and it's totally understandable, of course, CDC. I was talking to some of the analysts earlier saying that they are one of the teams that just really struggles against the techies. They just haven't seemed to have found the way to deal with it, and understandably so. Let's not play with it. Let's look for something else. And CDC here, with the early movement into the Radiant jungle, just trying to get some wards down. At the same time, EG look to be grouped up towards this top room, ready to contest, but CDC looks like they'll just secure themselves the bottom. I mean, from a draft perspective, do you feel that anyone's coming into this with a stronger lineup, or do you feel it's pretty balanced between the two sides? Has PPD found the edge this time?
I think EG's lineup is stronger if they don't lose the laning phase. It's like the big question mark here is how much they can get out of Q's Visage, which I was thinking CDC might go for that pick in this game and just run a really strong laning phase and try to pressure EG so much that they don't get to come online with their, like, I want to say it's a classic like slow play kind of game from EG again. The support duo Dazzle Naga is pretty defensive, and then they have a tanky Razor Core and a Shadow Fiend who's probably going to build mech and get tanky too. And they're going to just try to wait for the mid game when their lineup peaks, whereas CDEC can force the issue really early. And maybe they can look to take towers before Naga gets level 6. That's a really key point for EG, as was also brought up by Matt on the panel.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how well CDEC can try and crush the lanes with that Tusk Undying combination. I mean, it's a hero combo that we don't see a lot of teams get through, and normally one or the other being banned when one has been picked up in the draft. And already trying to go in onto Aoi here. Fear with the static link, moving in onto XC, stealing quite a bit here as well. Just going to go in onto Garda, but Garda with those double decay stacks is going to be okay. So, I mean, yeah, Tusk Undying, are they going to be able to do a lot to hinder Fear's farm here, do you feel?
I don't really think so. The way they can possibly do it is if they get enough decays out with Garda right now and they surprise him with popping level 2 on XC and then immediately go for a snowball, then maybe. But this dual lane of EG is tailored to survive. It's just very tanky. Both Razor and Naga are pretty difficult to bring down the laning stage. Top lane though, they're putting a lot of pressure on aggressive here with the poison touch.
Oh, indeed. He's got to be very careful as well. I like what Universe had. He's got this early point here in the caustic finale, making it that little bit harder for aggressive to farm on that Ember Spirit in the safe lane.
If he goes for a CS now on this wave, he's dead, actually. He's going to get stunned and shadow waved. So, has to be careful here. And he is playing it correctly. Just waiting out. We'll try to get whatever CS he can under his tower. And so far, so good for the EG dual lane off lane. I think they've got the lane matchups they wanted. They wanted the Ember to be top and face that there. They're pretty comfortable with putting Samael one-on-one against a TA with Shadow Fiend. He is very well versed in this particular matchup, SSF, and you can see he's winning the lane right now.
After that wave, he's starting to create the edge here. 11 for 4 against 7 for 1 on Shiki's TA. So yeah, Sumail's going to be happy with how this one started up. Top lane PPD just doing what he can from the low ground as CDEC pull the wave towards the side. Aggressive, his farm 7 for 1, 6 for 3 on Fierce, so pretty even between the 2 position ones. And the courier is down. Aoi there with the haste rune, able to snipe it. Didn't have anything on, but nonetheless, nice little bit of play there with the haste from Aoi.
Yeah, and you're just not going to expect that.
No.
If there was a bounty hunter on EG, you're playing safe with your courier, but what are the odds, right? He got the exact rune he needed to go for that courier snipe at that point in time, and this is a big advantage for EG. First of all, they're already doing well in mid, but now Sumail can actually flat out outlane the TA, not just on farm, but actually force her back. She will need to bollock run. You can see he's taking full advantage of his position right now, just really going in aggressively, removing the entirety of refraction. Here come the raises. All right, it's another refraction. But now Shiki's going to be out of mana.
This lane is becoming harder and harder for the TI5. Shiki's got to be careful here, getting low. The raise bringing him right down, and that's probably, he's going to have to go back to base here. So more of an edge here to Samael, who's really breaking away. 18 for 8, back to base for Shiki. This early game looking very good for the side of EG as well. Universe, I mean, he's 15 for 1 here on this SK. He's out CSing the Ember Spirit. Across the board, I don't think it could be going any better here for EG in these first few minutes.
And the aggressive dual lane from CDEC, we've seen this in the past. This has been something, especially in the qualifiers in the Chinese region. They love picking their Tusk.
PBD. 14 HP there. Universe getting chased down here by aggressive, but he's going to be fine healed up by the Dazzle.
Might actually try to counterplay this one.
Here we go with the burst strike onto aggressive. He's going to be able to, but needs to be careful of Q, of course, with that soul assumption, and then he's going to turn around and find the kill. Burst blood there to Q. Very nicely taking advantage of the fact that Universe went a little bit too aggressive there.
Yeah, PPD still had cooldown on Shadow Wave, I think. It was just getting ready. They would have needed it to try for the kill. And even if he got it off, they might still not have found the kill. I think aggressive baited him a bit there. I believe he did have some stick charges. He took full advantage of, and this is very important for CDEC, who are, to be fair, getting really destroyed in the laning phase. It's not an absolute beatdown, but they're definitely falling behind here. Their aggressive dual lane Tusk Undying that we saw a lot from them in the Chinese qualifiers that started getting
he's got to be
out.
careful. Look at this now. How he's come up on the Naga. There's no creep wave. They could dive this one here. Moving in onto the Ember Spirit. Aggressive. He's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Universe and PPD coming in for the kill. They'll find it. Bringing it to 1-1 on the board. EG equalizing the kills.
They're also going to steal a little bit of a stack here with Universe. Or not a stack, but rather just the single pull. He's got 1 point in Caustic Finale. I'm curious to see if he's going to put any more points in it, or if he just gets it for the value slow right now and is going to max out Sandstorm. Because it is possible that they can play this lane very aggressively. The combination they have of heroes is, let's say Ember is going for a CS in the creep wave. You Burrow Strike in with Caustic Finale on 1 or 2 melee creeps, and then you Shadow Wave the Sand King and the wave, and you can deal so much damage.
Look at this mid lane. Sumail is just bullying Shiki right back. I mean, you look at the CS and still the top 3 all on the side of EG. Universe is up there second on the Sand King. I mean, I can't remember the time I've seen a laning stage go this favorable to one side. This is quite the start here for EG. And Fear, of course, getting a lot of space in this spot. It just feels like this Tusk and Undying haven't really been able to do that much to stop the Razor's farm.
Yeah, I'm wondering why they stay down here. They could try to rotate the Tusk to the top lane and win that lane, for example, or try to get Shiki a gank in the mid lane. So they seem a little bit stubborn on playing this as a dual lane. And of course, the idea of the draft is that these two heroes synergize. So while you have Frozen Sigil together with the Tombstone, Snowball, and Ice Shards to block off their exit path so more zombies spawn, it is in theory a really powerful lane, but when you look at what they're up against, it's just extremely unlikely for them to find a kill on either of these heroes. And to be frank, they're kind of wasting their time a bit down here.
We'll see if they decide to make any movements yet. 6.5 minutes into the game. Sumail as well. Have any stacks been created yet in the jungle? It doesn't look like a... okay, we've got a double stack down here, okay. He's
probably going to triple that with PPD, and then Sumail's going to farm it. He's going to get a very, very early mech at this rate. 43 CS minutes 7 in the mid lane.
I mean, what is the plan here? Well, okay, this is going to be the plan. They're going to smoke up with Shiki on the bottom lane. He's got level 6, got those traps here, so maybe you have to chase down Fear. They're going to go in with a snowball. Here we go. CDEC looking for a kill onto Fear. Will be a big one if they can find it. Aui's there coming in to try and help out, but Fear's already dead. Aui going to look for the TP out. They haven't got anything to cancel it. And that was, well, CDEC needed that, and that was a big kill as well. Oh, mid lane though, Sumail gets himself a solo kill in return onto Q. But all in all, the fact that CDEC did manage to find the kill onto Fear.
Yeah, and if this was the alternative, either you rotate to TA's lane and gank the Shadow Fiend, or you rotate the TA to the bottom lane and kill the Razor. And I think they just decided the bottom lane is one rotation less. They end up being 3 heroes by running her down there. And in addition, the Shadow Fiend had a haste, so that would have been an almost impossible kill to get. So they do find a kill on Fear, but I think EG aren't going to be too phased by it. They know that Sumail is absolutely rolling in this game.
He's a mile ahead of the TA now, 51 for 14 against the 25 for 3. The fact that he's got those kills under his belt as well.
And they gave the stacks to Sand King, by the way.
Okay, I mean, he's going to have a very quick timing on his blink dagger. He's nearly at 1700 gold, and with this, we're going to see a pre-10-minute blink easily here for Universe.
Yeah. That's scary, because you want to have that ready when Song is up, and, well, you definitely do. In addition to that, you can probably find some ganks in, especially I would say the bottom lane is going to be a very easy target for Universe and the Sand King. The mid lane can still be a little tricky if TA has her refraction stacks up. But it's certainly possible.
1900 gold on Universe. This is, yeah, he's going to be able to do so much with this blink, and I really like how the Sand King picks worked out. It was able to make it very hard for the Ember Spirit to farm in lane against him. And now, of course, getting that early blink is going to mean that EG can amp up the pressure. CDEC, though, they want to do that themselves. Again, a smoke on bottom. They're looking for that Fear kill. Fear, I think he's going to play a little bit more safely this time, backing up towards the tier 1. Realizes that CDEC are off the map, and he's actually going to come out here with a creep wave, but CDEC actually turning their attentions away. No, the ping's coming back out. Fear realizes, though, as the trap gets dropped, that there's people in the neighborhood, and he's going to play it safe, backing behind the tower, and he's going to be able to avoid this gank.
They might still try to go for a dive. I think that's going to be super risky here. But EG might not expect it because of how unlikely it is. Perhaps CDEC will decide. They do have the good vision with the ward they just placed down behind. So they should know there's no support here.
So there's a lot of time they're spending, though, trying to zone out Fear. I mean, they're shutting down his farm, but the space that's been given to Sumail in the mid lane, you know, he's now confident enough to just walk into the enemy jungle and take what he can from their own camps. And he'll continue to farm and reach on to level 10. He's at 5,200 net worth. He is 2,000 ahead of the position 1 of CDEC, Aggressive Ember. This is, before 10 minutes in, this is Sumail getting entirely out of control.
And they have to address that problem, I think. This is not, the CDEC draft doesn't deal particularly well with a Shadow Fiend, in my opinion. The one who does counter him pretty well is the one who's been destroyed in the lane. It's the TA who's supposed to be able
he's got his blink. Blinks himself away there from Exy. Garda, Shiki's there as well, spotting out Sumail. But backup is there available to EG. Aggressive's going to go in with the remnants here, but Sumail here with the ult. It's all being blocked by the Flame Guard. Now Sumail's in trouble. The snowball's closing in. Will catch him with the sun. They are going to fight Sumail. No, he's still alive. Will now go down. That's going to be the first casualty. Universe getting low here. CDEC moving in. PPD trying to heal him up. Will going the kill onto Garda. Now they turn their attention to Fear, but Fear's just a little bit too tanky with the weave armor ticking up. Oh, Universe gets the kill there onto Dust. Fear's still alive. He's looking for Q. He's going to get it. And PPD will finally go down. So it's a 2 for 3 favoring the side of EG. Aggressive and Shiki now on the retreat, but Veer's able to live throughout that all and get himself involved in a lot of those kills. It does slightly favor the side of CDEC because of the fact that they did get that kill onto Sumail, who was quite far ahead in just in comparison to how CDEC's heroes were doing so far 10 minutes in.
It's a really good sign for EG when they're able to 3-2 a fight that they play 4 and 5. Like, Naga wasn't even there. Aoi was top. He's getting level 6. He split pushed a bit on the tower. He forces a rotation from XC defensively here, and now he's just going to back out as he realizes, okay, the heroes are respawning. I could be the target. Plays it safe. They'll have Song next time, and then they can probably take an even more convincing fight, just dealing with the Tombstone and playing from there.
And at this point, Aoi's going to be feeling more confident to just push out the lanes and farm up and start to rise himself up through that net worth. As you can already see, the top 3 still on the side of EG. CDC yet to be able to catch up. TA trying to catch up with this Universe Sanking, but Sanking on 4,200 net worth. Looking very good. CDC teeping into the mid lane for the defense, but EG just backing themselves off. And Shadow Fiend, so he's going to be looking for that Yules here as his first item. Universe and PPD smoked up, moving towards the top lane. Let's see if they're able to find anything here. XZ's just on his own. He has found level 7 here on the Tusk. Bottom lane, the Familiars trying to scout out Fear. It is just aggressive in the neighborhood though. So won't be able to take down Fear on his own. He's going to need some backup, and backup is on its way as CDEC moving Cheeky down towards this bottom lane along with Q. They've also got Garda coming in as well, so they're sending 4 heroes down for this one. PPD is there, ready to back up, and Fear's just gonna, he's gonna have backup coming in because the TP in from Aoi with the Song of the Siren available. Maybe EG can try and look for a fight. There's gonna be a TP out straight away from Q. He does not want to fight in this one. Indeed, the Familiar's now gone.
That's a pretty big mistake from Q. Very unusual for him as well. Just park the Familiars and just let EG take the both of them. As I understood in the start, I thought it was on purpose because it looked like he kept them there to have the creep wave just hit them instead of scouting out their positions, as they might have been spotted by the creeps. But instead, it looked like he just forgot about them and loses 2 Familiars with ultimate on cooldown as well. CDC decide they cannot fight that.
Right, so bottom lane, we are seeing on his own here aggressive. Going in onto Fear, but there's backup. Yeah, he's just going to Remnant straight out. Doesn't want to hang around here in this lane. He's still got a fair bit of catching up to do now. He's now managed to reach up to the same level as Universe's Sanking, but it is still Fear and Sumail that are very much in the lead in terms of farm. And that's your Yules now done here on the Shadow Fiend, so Sumail's got this killing potential. If he finds any hero on the map now at this point, he should be able to blow them up.
This item allows him to solo TA. Even if she has max refractions on, you can just Yule her and go in and blow the ultimate, and it should probably be enough to, even through refraction, almost one-shot her at this point with her 900 health. So puts him in a position of power on the map. Definitely looking to play aggressively. There's another side benefit of this item, of course. It's able to dispel Flame Guard, which is purgeable as of... I can't remember if it was 683 or 684, but it's very, very good item against the Ember Spirit, who at this stage in the game is super reliant on the Flame Guard. It's technically Yuling the Ember Spirit deals 550 magic damage to him when he has Flame Guard on. So it's pretty sick.
Oh, he's going to move in onto Aoi though. He's caught him out, but the Song of the Siren will be there. Aoi will be able to back himself up, and he's just going to look for the straight TP out here, avoiding the kill, going to the side of CDEC.
Nice play from Aggressive though. I think he actually couldn't even have killed AUI there, but he got really scared because of the triple Remnant. It looks like such a super confident aggressive play that he thinks there's backup. And he does get the Song TP, which is what he wanted. I think this is the exact plan Aggressive had in mind. Just playing the mental game there.
Song down for now the 3 minutes. Coming up to 15 minutes in. We did see drums now being completed by Fear. And Universe now with the Tranquils and Soul Ring on top of the Blink Dagger. I mean, what is the next point of call here for EG? Are they looking to go aggressive themselves, or are they happy kind of waiting until CDEC try and look for another fight?
I think they should wait for their mech. I'm a little bit surprised that neither Fear nor Sumail went for a mech first item. I thought when I saw the Yules on Sumail, I look over Fear and I'm like, okay, he's definitely building a mech. Nope, he went for drum. So they might just slow down a little bit until they have that. I'm imagining they want to get it on one of them still. It's such a good item against the dire lineup. The AoE armor is great. The heal is going to counter out the Ember Spirit's spread damage very nicely. It's kind of a must-buy, I think, in this game. Maybe they put on Sand King.
They're going to go for a smoke here. Let's see where they head towards. Ping's coming out. We've already seen EG back up behind the tier 1 on this top lane, so they're not going to be able to catch anyone out here. And it looks like, again, CDEC, they've been looking for stuff across the map. And won't be able to... Oh, unless Aoi comes out here. He still hasn't got the song for 80 seconds. If he comes out too close and aggressive, can catch him, yeah, with the searing change. Now the snowball coming in. Easy pick off there for the side of CDEC as Aoi just overstepping the mark a little bit on that lane.
This is probably a tower as well. This is the big benefit of smoking like this. It's been talked about previously as well. Even if you don't find anyone, you're suddenly 5 heroes in one place and you get a tower, but EG are ready for the counterplay.
Oh, with the Yules on to the Undying, moving in with the bow strike as well. Garda gonna get taken down there by EG. And as you said, CDEC will be able to find the space for this top tier 1. Cheeky with the double damage.
EG got the better tower though. They got the mid tier 1 of the Dire and a kill. So, considering I don't think they used to smoke. Yeah, if they steal this too, this is really big. Now, CDEC should know this with their high ground ward, but I don't know if they can do anything about it. They're simply not in position to contest this, and Sumail, as well as Fear, will be getting even more of an advantage now. Sumail already with the Yasha.
And with the Yasha Yules, this man's going to be incredibly speedy, moving towards the mid lane. He has this Invis rune, has the Requiem as well, if he can line it up. Shiki's got the refraction out though. If he gets some kind of backup though, Sumail could certainly go for this. And oh, the blink away there just in time from TA, as the Burrow Strike did come in from Universe.
They're going to kill the birds. He has a resummon, so I think he's going to... Oh, maybe they're scared of a counterplay here, as they should be.
CDEC moving in, Sumail still with a good duration of this Invis. Ready to go, and he's going to use the Yules here on 10, but doesn't look like he's going to follow it through.
Bye-bye, Flame Guard. Do you have any idea how annoying that is to play against? Like, Emperor is one of my favorite heroes to play right now. Whenever the enemy gets a Yules, I'm just like, oh.
That change did hurt the hero a lot.
That is... But he's still a really high pick in this tournament, even with heroes such as Lina being popular with the Yules pickup, and of course the situational one from Shadow. But it is frustrating, losing your Flame Guard for absolutely nothing.
Into the jungle, CDEC. Garda coming in, heading towards the bottom. Aggressive's managed to find a little bit more farm now on the Ember Spirit. He's catching up. He's now 4th on the board. Still just, he's 1,000 behind Fear. And TA is actually kind of catching up here with Sumail. Just over 1,000 behind also. Visage able to get the deny, and Sumail looking to try and clear off these familiars. It's not going to be the case there. I mean, Sumail now with the Yasha, what does he go for now as his next item? Does he just finish off the full SN1?
I think so.
Yeah.
It seems like a reasonable choice. He can go for a Manta if he wants to have a way of breaking out of Searing Chains. It's pretty decent, but at the same time, he should have BKB somewhere on his list. And SNY is just the stronger snowballing build with his early lead. Can keep up the farming pace. Look to be a little bit more tanky in the fights as well. He's just, you can tell he's just feeling in control. Right? He just farms the enemy jungle with no vision. He's not scared of anything right now. Of course, in part it is because they see a couple of heroes on the map with their own observer wards, and he feels like the remaining 2 or 3 cannot take him out.
He's found PPD, but he needs to be careful. As EGR around the corner. Shiki, of course, trying to work towards that Desolator. Has nearly enough money here for the second Mithril Hammer. Now Sumail coming into his own jungle. Shiki's going to back off, and the ping's coming out as well. Aggressor's got to be careful here as well. Trying to work his way towards that Battle Fury now on top of the drums. And in fact, Shiki going in. They want to try and fight, but EG's all there. They'll find the first strike onto Aggressive. There's your Requiem. Will remove the Flame Guard. Now they're going to continue to chase down Shiki. Aggressive looks for the Searing Chains. Is he going to find it? And Shiki's going to go down. Sumail moving forward, maybe trying to find more, but Aggressive there with the Remnant will be able to escape. But nonetheless, finding the kill onto the TA, and CDEC just getting a little bit ahead of themselves. They're trying to fight into EG's lineup. Didn't quite realize that they were all around the corner, ready and waiting.
This is the strength for Sumail right now. If he can Yule off the Flame Guard, it takes them really long to kill him off. And it's very easy for EG to get in reinforcements. At that point in time, they had them completely red. Sand King was already in position for it. But even if he wasn't, they might have been able to TP on the tier 2 and actually save him there.
I feel as well, if you look at Fear, he's nearly got the Aghanim Scepter complete, and once he's got that on the Razor, EG are going to be very much ready to start to push, and it's going to be so hard for CDEC to defend as well. I mean, anytime they come close to the tower, we can expect to see Aoi come out with the song, and then EG will just find themselves in position for a big weave, big epicenter, big Requiem of Souls. It's going to get harder and harder for CDEC.
It looks like Aoi will be carrying the mech for EG here. He's going to go for Guardian Greaves, and on the other side for CDEC, they have the mech on Q. Kind of unusual these days to buy mech on the Visage. We used to see the Solar Crest and Aghanim Scepter, or most of the time actually only Solar Crest. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen an Axe, just because it's pretty expensive to go for that build-up, and most teams favor the Crest. But this could be the game where Q finds that farm. At the rate this is going, this could be a very long game. And CDEC at this point have to realize they're probably going to have to play more defensively and play for the late game with high ground defense from, of course, Visage is really good for it with the birds, Ice Shards, TA can get pretty strong. And bo3 has won quite a few games on his high ground this tournament, so he might play for the 70-80 minute territory with their lineup now. I think that's what they have to do, more or less. They can look for pickoffs, but realistically winning a team fight now into EG's lineup is very, very difficult.
Does dispel the smoke, EG. Moving in for more potentially. Aoi still under the cover of it. And they're actually going to jump in, and they've found PPD here with the Searing Chains. Familiars as well will be able to get the D-Ward there onto the sentry. But again, EG very much feeling in a power position of control. Desolator's now complete here onto your TA. So we'll see what Shiki's able to do with that on top of the Blink Dagger in the next fight. And they're actually going to smoke up themselves, CDEC. See if they can find a wraparound, catch out the side of EG.
Dire's middle tower
Might just find Sumail here. He's going to ball himself up this rune. Actually going to look for Roshan, okay, and I kind of like this here because they're going to do it fairly quickly. Okay, EG, I think they're aware that Illusion's going to scout it out. And the weave dropped as well. Now Universe trying to find the bow strike. Will find it onto Garda here. Going to potentially try and kick this one off. Universe forcing himself away. Now there's the song. The shards have actually stopped EG from being able to find themselves in a position to fight. So it looks like they're just going to back themselves away from the tombstone. Aggressive wants to fight though, going straight in. Yours is going to be there. Shiki going forward, looking for Aoi. Aoi, the shallow grave is there just in time for PPD. Universe has jumped in the middle of it all though, and they'll lose the Sand King. PPD's actually trapped up here, but the Ice Shard summons up to go free Surveil. With the Requiem, gets it off. Now Fear is going to be able to turn this one. The Snowball coming out straight for Surveil. Fear being healed up by PPD from the back lines. And Fear getting low, but he's got the shallow grave. He's trying to find something, but I don't know if he'll find anything here, and I think he'll pay with his life. He's looking for Q, but the soul is summoning from Q. Coming out beautifully. Now Aoi as well, the Searing Chains from Aggressive. And what a fight for CDEC. They may even find more. They're chasing down PPD here. PPD's on the run. Will he be able to get himself out of this? No, the Snowball closing it onto him. He's got a shallow grave, not even gonna, yes, he gets it off. Gonna look for the TP. Can he get himself out? There's no mana here. No, the stun from the Familiars. He's down. And CDEC take 4 of EG. And now they'll be able to look back to Roshan.
Just ran his Manta or some, what was that? He had an illusion chasing Q all the way to base and killing him there. There must have been an illusion rune. He died up here. He got killed by an Illu.
Well, okay. Sumail trying to equal off the fight, but nonetheless, CDEC very much coming out top. 4 for 2.
So
they get Roshan in the Aegis.
What's really important in that fight is that the Ice Shards from XC are incredible. He splits the fight in 2. He blocks the entire path for EG after the song has already been used. So they have kind of no counterplay there. And CDEC just isolate one target after the other. And when you look at how EG initiated that, so Universe goes in for the Blink Burrow, tries to find 2 targets. TA immediately blinks out, so he doesn't find her. And then he's in an awkward position where he has to disengage and they have to use the song, and they don't manage to find the combination of song into Epicenter as a result, which is the only thing EG really needs to win a team fight. If CDC are somewhat clustered up, you song, you Epi, you blink, and you burrow 2 or 3 heroes, and the fight is just lost, which is why I said I don't think CDC should be fighting. But under those conditions, their lineup is still really dangerous.
That was a very, very good fight. Off the back of that now, Aggressive has got his completed Battle Fury, so he'll be able to step up the farm. There's still 24 minutes in, 9-9 on both sides. It's been quite a passive game. A little bit of a slower pace, but as you said, EG, they'll be calm. I mean, do you think both teams are going to be happy taking this one late, or is there a clear advantage here for one of the lineups?
I think it's difficult to say. If it goes like really, really late, I think EG might have to farm Aoi and turn him into a core Naga. Because Razor and Shadow Fiend aren't really the fiercest of super late gamers in comparison to, in my opinion, a TA and Ember. And then you look at the supporting cast, Visage scales really well late game. The Tusk, Frozen Sigil is always going to be a problem. It's hard to say, really. I think it's slightly favoring CDEC.
Yeah, as well. This is a very nice kind of, it feels like a recovery from a very bad kind of farming stage. And now they find this kill on PPD as well. XC going forward with the blink of the punch. PPD with the shallow grave here. I don't know if he's going to be able to keep himself alive. He'll pop the charges, but Aggressive's still there. Looking for him with a sleight of fist, will find the kill. Now he's going to maybe look for more. The Yules will hold him back, but Shiki moving forward. The song coming out from Aoi. Looks like it'll be a defensive one as they just simply TP themselves out here and they will get themselves away. But CDEC again, they find the kill and they'll almost certainly find this tier 1 here. And this is looking very good for them in terms of farm. You've got the TA and the Ember now overtaking Fear's farm here on the Razor. It is still Sumail that's 4,000 ahead, but if it keeps on like this, CDEC should be able to close even that gap.
I'm wondering if
middle tower is under attack.
Sumail is making the right call with his item build right now. Looks like he's building into a butterfly, so still no BKB. And there are quite a few things on CDEC that can mess with him. This bird stuns, snowball, of course the searing chains would be an issue as well. And all the burst damage between something like Soul Rip and of course the Flesh Golem amplification can be a problem. He's farmed, that's for sure. But he doesn't feel confident engaging into the CDEC lineup, and he can't guarantee getting a Requiem off, which is a really big problem. EG are going to need that, not just for the burst damage, but also for the damage reduction against heroes like TA and Ember.
And at this point, just backing off Fear with the Ags, 1,100 gold on top of it as well. And as you were saying, Sumail, very close to finishing off that butterfly. Q.
Game's back to even, by the way. They've pulled back the entire lead EG had has gone down the drain.
Back to 0, very nice. As I said, the fact that CDEC could have done that after such a bad early stage, this is impressive stuff here from the side. And EG need to up their game if they want to keep control of this one. So I think CDEC will be very happy with how they brought this one back round, 27 minutes in. And EG looks like they're going to group up and look for some towers themselves, try and get themselves this tier 1 from this bottom lane. And we'll see if any kind of defense comes out from the side of CDEC, but it looks like the TPs are going to come out. So with the Battle Fury as well, Sleight of Fist, Aggressive's going to be able to hold it for the time being. And EG, they're going to back up. They're actually going to TP elsewhere, look to continue to farm up on Fear as he heads towards the top. And now with the TP reaction, the wraparound towards the mid lane as well. Looks like EG is thinking about fighting here. I don't know, Sumail, he moves in and then he's going to get chased down here by the familiars, trying to look to scout him out.
He has the full butterfly on the courier, so no buyback, but he is really strong if he gets to fight on his terms right now, like ridiculously strong. But he is still possible to deal with both the dire side.
They get the tier 2, very nicely done there. More gold into the pocket here as Shiki. 12,000 gold now onto your TA. And 4,000 gold to spend as well. I mean, what does TA go now? Does he see the butterfly and just go straight for an MKB, or does he need to go for that Black King bar here in this situation?
It depends what his goal is in the fights. If he thinks he needs to hard counter the Shadow Fiend, of course MKB is great.
More aggressive, catching up Fear, moving in very aggressively as well. Will Remnant back. They'll find themselves another tier 2 potential universe with a burst strike onto Shiki, but Force stuffs himself away, aggressive, moving forward here with the Remnant. Looking for the Searing Chains, will find it onto Fear. The Weave Armor is now beginning to stack up for the side of EG, so it's not really the best time for CDEC to fight, and they're happy with that. They get themselves another tier 2, and they'll just back themselves off here as well.
If they keep farming now, everything is fine for them. I think the ball's in EG's court now to start making a move. If they keep just letting CDEC take down the towers, well, there's only one remaining, so I guess they can't lose that much more any longer. I just feel like the cores of CDEC are getting a really good game here, even though Sumail has so much farm. I don't know if Fear can have the impact he's looking for just yet. It's not like he's poor, but he's falling behind the course of CDEC.
He certainly is. 13,000, 12,000 on the respective Ember and TA, and Fear now about 2,000 or so behind those. He's still got a way to catch up. Aggressive now sitting on 2.4k with his Battle Fury. So we'll see if he's able to go for that crit next as its next option.
And in addition to that, if you look at the supporting cast, the supports of the Dire are also richer. Marginal lead for the Visage over the Naga, but then a 2,500 difference between the position 5s on the team. And it makes a really big difference. We generally focus a lot on the gold differential between the carries, but having that extra Glimmer Cape and that extra tankiness on your support, how many times have we seen Glimmer Cape win a game in this tournament? Like, I've lost count. I've also never really counted, so it makes it a little bit harder, but Garter with a Glimmer Cape in this game.
Top lane. They're going to find XZ all on his own and pop the snowball here, but Fierce stealing the damage. Oh, he blinks out. Oh, very nicely done there from XZ. Can he get himself out of the shards as well? He's playing it perfectly, but Universe is there with a blink, the Burrow Strike. They'll find the kill nonetheless. But very nicely done there from XZ, trying to buy as much time as possible, keeping EG occupied. But they will find the kill, and they'll farm the tier 2 there themselves as well. So EG managing to regain a bit of momentum, but the push is coming here on the bottom lane. Shiki with the Deso and with the Familiars as well. Once he gets himself onto a tower, it's going to fall pretty darn quickly. Samel with the helm on the butterfly. 1k gold as well. Still looking to be the strongest member of the side of EG at the moment. 17,000 gold on this man. There's still got a bit of catching up to do, but I guess the good thing, of course, with Fear on the Razor is the fact that if they do take a fight with the Ags, they will be able to push very, very nicely with the Razor.
I'm going to see the MKB pickup for Shiki. So what I was going to get at was, if he wants to counter out the Shadow Fiend specifically, MKB is definitely the choice. But for the purpose of fighting pretty much everyone else, there's a lot of value in having the BKB against Sand King, but it can also backfire against Song of the Siren. You can get isolated during BKB and just be brought down very easily from the EG right clicks. So I actually think in this case, Shiki is definitely making the right choice. Usually we would see BKB, but it's just not that good against EG's heroes. All in all. Dazzle doesn't really care about it. Razor, you can still static link. His ultimate's still going to
making a beeline straight for the top lane. Finding Garda here with the Burrow Strike, going straight for the Undying, but the Glimmer Cape, he's going to be able to get himself away. Q-lets for the TP out, but the Yours is there to cancel it. They'll try and look for the Visage, and they should be able to find it. Max up is not enough. Over the Sliding Fist! The Battle Fury damage is not quite enough. Aggressive will go down, and now EG looking for more. Shiki on the back, but are we there with his stay? Out comes your Song. Now what's the plan here for EG? Who are they going to look to take down first? They're looking for the Familiars, they'll find one of them. Will they be able to clean this one up? Here we go. Epicenter from Universe on the sidelines trying to come in, but they're already dead on the side of CDEC. They've found 3. It's a double kill for Samael. And now they're going to find more. XZ, he's got the snowball, but there's 4 members of EG here. He's going to go for BBD. He gets the blink off. Very nicely, and he's going to get himself out. Nicely done from XZ, but nonetheless, CDEC losing 3. Only finding Universe there. So a very nice fight there for the side of Evil Geniuses. And off the back of that, they may just be able to find a tier 2 here in the mid lane as well.
Yeah, most likely going to be grabbing this now. So interesting to see the Tusk going for the BKB, because if he does and TA doesn't, he's just going to be the one isolated out. And there's a little bit of a disconnect here, so I'm not sure what the goal of the BKB is, if he's specifically scared of that Burrow Strike, or if he wants to just be able to do something during the song. Of course, he's more difficult to isolate with the BKB, as he still can use the snowball defensively, but what's... I'm not really sold on this choice. I guess we'll see what XC's plan is.
Ooh, they want to try and catch someone out of Fear. Ooh, won't be just quite trapped by the ice shards. Will be able to get himself around those. As CDC just unable to find anyone off the back of that. And EG did find themselves that tier 1. Samel continuing to race ahead of the game as he's reaching 20,000 in terms of net worth and sitting on 2.8k. I mean, what is next here for the Shadow Fiend?
Satanic, I think. He might just go straight for it, so he can just man fight. When you're this far ahead in terms of farm on a Shadow Fiend, yeah, there we go. All right.
33 minutes in. This is, I mean, Samel, he's outdoing himself here today. This is a great performance. 6 kills, 6 assists. He's only died once so far this game. He's really putting in the hard work here for EG.
He needs a damage item next, because I don't think he can put enough pressure on them as it is right now. He's going to need a Daedalus or an MKB to, depending on whether there's a butterfly coming up for the TA. I don't think that's going to be Shika's next item, so I'm guessing a Daedalus will be the choice of Samel.
Fizz managed to find a Shiva's Guard here as well now. That's all completed and done as well, and he is catching back up to the TA number.
That is a really huge item this game, by the way. The Shiva's Guard is very, very good against TA. The attack speed slow, the move speed slow with the active, and of course making Fear himself very tanky. Lots of armor. We're probably going to see the classic Fear build, which is Shiva's into AC, as the vast majority of the dire damage pretty much exclusively is physical.
Well, they want to find Samel here, and it'll be a massive kill if they can. They're trying to move forward here. Shiki with the blink, but Samel's just too damn tanky. And where's the Sankey? We need to get a Universe in and get yourself in here. So there we go with the epicenter of the Burrow with the snowball dodge. They dodge a huge amount and they turn it round. They get the kill to Samel. Beautiful play there by XZ with the snowball. They might find more. Chasing down Aoi. The shallow graves there from BBD's looking for the TP. Can they cancel it? No, they can't. Aoi he will get out. They might be able to find PPD here. The ice shards won't catch him, but Shiki with the slow. No, the solo subject bursting. Moved out to the snowball as well. Fear gets the standing link off. Shiki in a bit of trouble. Needs to get himself up, but he's got the Aegis. He's okay. They might even be able to find Fear here as well. As Tina's going to come straight back into the game. Shiki's going to look for it with the slow for the trap. The stunners fall for the familiars. And Snare will be thrown out to Shiki, but EG, they've got 3 heroes down. Aggressive coming in, moving it on Fear. They're going to continue to do it. CDEC, they find Fear as well. None of the heroes on EG have buyback available. And what a fight from CDEC. And I'm going to say it's all down to XE getting that snowball off just after the song. Beautiful play from the Tusk to avoid the huge team fight that EG tried to jump into CDEC with. That's massive. That one play. And they're getting racks off the back of it.
This is probably maybe the most game, like the biggest impact play we've seen from Tusk all tournament, I think. That could have been such a disastrous fight, and instead they just flat out almost win the game with one big play.
2 melee racks. And EG, they're going to feel a bit battered after that one. 13-15. But it doesn't matter about the kills when you're 2 racks down. And EG now, what is the plan for them here? How do they recover from that kind of kicker?
I feel like the big issue in this situation is not that, how to explain this? So it's not just that CDEC dodge spells. Yeah. It's that the cooldown of the spells they dodge is more than, it's too long. Like they get too big of an advantage out of it. And you know, it's one of those situations with that play where it's almost impossible, but what they need to realize in the moment when they go for that, they're like, oh, there are 5 heroes left, let's go for the Requiem Sand King combo. What they actually need to do is they need to walk everyone else than Sand King away.
Yeah.
So there's no snowball target. And then they need to play off of that, but thinking about that in the moment is so ridiculously hard.
Yeah, especially just how grouped up CDEC were. It was just so tasty. EG looking for it, and they're like, this is going to be perfect, but...
Because if they get their full combo there, if there's no snowball, they would be the ones pushing for racks. And or getting a... I guess there was no Roche right then, because they did have the Aegis, but...
Looks like EG, they're going to group up here and start pushing down the mid. But CDEC, they want to fight into this. They realize that they're in the stronger position now, and they're going to go straight for it. 7 chains onto Samael. Q moving in and out with the ice shards. They're going to jump in onto this one. Universe force-starving himself out of this. Fear to get the standing link off to Aggressive, and he's going to steal a nice bit of damage here with the song setting it up. Samael looking for the red grip onto Aggressive. Oh, Aggressive with the remnant straight out. Now the turn, they will find Q on the Visage. And the weaves stacking up now for the side of EG, making that a little bit harder for CDEC to fight into with the Sleight of Fist. Aggressive's going to back off. Sheiky's going to blink away. They're trying to push up to the high ground here, EG. Can they do anything? Can they take the tier 3? Maybe the racks. XE blinking himself away. Fear with Aghanim's ult going to work here onto the tier 3. Fortification will come out from the side of CDEC.
Oh yeah, but that Daedalus from Aggressive just easily clears out everything here.
Can't quite get the back.
EG have a new weave if they want to try again. This is a very important ability for them to be able to siege high ground, but they take their minor win. They back off. As a lost fight there is probably gain. So the risk-reward ratio just not favoring them enough to go for this play.
This is very, very nice from CDEC so far. And I mean, looking at the graph as well, it's been up and down, but now favoring the side of CDEC. It's still not a huge lead. They might find PPD though, all on his own. Tusk. Oh, he might be able to catch this, and PPD's going to get away. Okay, very nice done. Only the 2 of them there at the time. No one else to stop the TP, so PPD gets himself out. But they will find the rest of the Ancients there. Shiki cleaning that. Now with the BKB, MKB, and 2,500 gold. This Shiki's TA is catching up to Samael's SF. He's still 4,000 ahead, but it's the fact that the rest of EG are falling behind in terms of farm that's the real issue against CDEC's cause.
And the more BKBs they're getting, the harder it is for EG to pull off their combo. Because even if they set it up perfectly with the song, if there is no snowball play, at least the TA and Tusk can just both BKB. And then maybe the snowball can save the rest of the team afterwards when he gets BKB off. So, tricky position to be in for EG. It's still a pretty close game. Like 5,000 golden experience is not that much, but the 2 melee racks are definitely going to hurt EG's economy if this just slows down a little bit. And CDEC, once again, I don't think they mind. Aggressive is starting to get a lot of momentum in the game. Has a very high impact in these fights.
They're doing a heck of a lot of damage here with that Battle Fury Daedalus combo. And with the Mantra as well. Harder and harder for EG to try and lock down in these fights. We've seen him dodge a lot as well with those remnants. And EG looks like they're trying to build up a bit of a momentum, a bit of force down this mid lane as they group up as 5. EG and Fears moving into the jungle. CDEC looking ready to back though to try and hold this from their base. They know that EG is coming from. They don't want to be caught out outside of the base. They know that they have the stronger high ground defense here. And just the familiars being sent out here to scout it all out. Looking for them, won't quite be able to find them. Aggressive with the Syrian change to Sumail. Again, CDEC, they definitely look to be waiting for EG to come to them rather than vice versa at this point.
And as long as Sumail doesn't get focused down super hard in the fight, he should be able to get his Satanic off. So I think the strategy here from CDEC is to not go for Sumail, but just try to catch the backline as much as possible. Maybe if they can kill off the Razor, that would be really good so his ultimate doesn't tear down all their armor during the fight. It's actually tricky. I really don't think these fights are favoring anyone very much right now. They did have that incredible fight in the mid lane, but that's not going to happen again.
Moving in, XC with the BKB straight onto Fear. Ice Shard trapping him up, but Aoi with the song. We'll keep Fear for some time. Aggressives here as well, though. They want to fight CDEC. Universe gets a Forest Strike very nicely onto all three of them, but now they're trying to turn this one. EG Sumail moving forward here. Got to find a record with the damage. The FKB cancelling the cast here with the ult, but he still finds the kill onto Shiki. Fear getting low, aggressive. Remnants himself away. XE with a punch. Takes down Fear. Solar Assumption onto Sumail. Sumail getting those well. The Sleight of Fist. The crits is too much. It's a double kill for XE. They should be able to fight Sumail as well. They will. 3 heroes falling on the side of EG and PPD left to run himself away. They're going to chase this one down here, CDEC. They should be able to find the Dazzle as well. And they will indeed. 4 heroes dropping on EG. And CDEC lose nothing. Buyback from Sumail and PPD just to defend this bottom lane. And again, CDEC's fight. I mean, when they grouped up like that, the Battle Fury, Sleight of Fist, Daedalus Ember is going to come out on top every time.
There was a buyback from the TA, so that could be the play for EG here. They did buy back both the Shadow Fiend and the Dazzle to push out the mid lane. If they find the TA again, they could be in a good position, but pretty much anything else than that is probably going to be a game over with the buyback used from Sumail. He's finding very little gold right now with that gold penalty. And the next Roshan as well, we need to consider that one as a possibility for CDEC as well. I don't think EG can let them have this. I think the game is just flat out over if they get an Aegis on the TA or the Ember.
Yeah, then he's really slipping away. And the fact on the individual net worth that you're now seeing, of course, Ember Spirit, he's actually overtaken Sumail's farm. And this is a Sumail SF that for the whole game has pretty much consistently been 4,000 ahead of anyone on the side of CDEC. So CDEC really coming back into their element here. And as you said, as the game gets later, aggressive on his Ember Spirit, it's just going to get scarier and scarier. And it looks like he's going to go for the Skadi here.
Yeah, he almost has it. He needs another 1,100. He's going to get that very quickly if they grab a Roshan and just a couple of creep camps. As there is a DD in the river, they're just saving it for Roche. We don't know the respawn time, of course, but maybe EG can go for some sort of a play here and disallow them from even getting the Roshan.
Still just under a minute. Oh, aggressive actually coming into the pit, goes straight back out. Oh, Universe nearly finding the Burrow Strike. Well, I remember that EG, of course, Aoi with that song, maybe they can still find a huge setup for something that's going to favor them, but CDEC, I'm sure they're not going to let that happen. Just guarding the Roshan pit. As you said, this is the really important part for both teams. It's going to be up now in less than 30 seconds. And it is CDEC remaining closer as EG had to back up just to push those lanes back out.
Yeah, they were hoping to intercept a Roshan attempt there with Song of the Siren and maybe steal it or take a fight. And they get neither. This is pretty much free.
And it's up now, CDEC, they're going to go straight to work with the damage that they've got as well. I don't know if EG can get her in time. Look how quickly it melts. There's nothing that EG could do. CDEC's physical damage output is ridiculous and aggressive, getting himself the Aegis and taking Roshan down in a matter of seconds.
He can get a Scotty now if he sells his drum, but I think he might want to keep it. Well, okay, looks like he is going to sell that. There we go. So, full Scotty for him coming out soon when the courier starts moving. Wanted to get the Orb of Venom. As the Yasha picked up now for Shiki as well. Or actually, he sent it back on the courier. He wanted the cheese instead of the Yasha. So he's not so mobile in the fights right now on the TA. His move speed very limited. He has, of course, got the Blink Dagger, but if that one gets disabled, he could struggle to find a key target to attack.
Here we go, CDEC, they're ready to try and take this final tier 2 on the side of EG. And EG, it's going to be a hard one to defend. Maybe they'll try and fight into this with the Song, but be fighting into Aegis and Cheese. Somehow just on the front here. Aggressive moving forward. Universe actually getting the trigger onto Aggressive. Sumail try to trade hits for the Searing Chains now. Throwing out another Solar Substitution. Sumail getting forced back. The Familiars as well, trying to hold EG.
You could kill the burst here. Then they're going to be on cooldown for a whole minute. This is disengaged territory for CDEC, maybe.
Aggressive just going in with the Searing Chains. They'll lose both of them. But the Burrow Strike onto Aggressive. Can they kill the Ember? No, Remnant away. It'll be fine. Actually moving back in. Just with the Sleight of Fist with the weave. And stacking up here onto Sumail. He's got a hell of a lot of armor. Over 50 at the moment, so not the time to fight into. They'll wait until that's come off, and then CDEC may just be confident in hanging around for more. I feel that they're in a very safe position to do so with the Aegis and the Cheese available. And onto the tier 2 they go. Let's see what EG can do to stop this. Not a lot by the looks of it. Somehow just training hits and well, Aggressive going in with a slight. They'll have the setup here with the Yules, but he's got a Remnant now and he'll be able to dodge again the Burrow Strike from Universe. Ember just proving very hard to control at this point of the game, and there's a lot of CDEC moving in. Smail's got to be careful how far he comes up the lane. Searing Chains will catch him, Ice Shards as well. And now, okay, Fizz get a nice static link off here. Tombstone's going to be dropped. Now Aoi with the Song. They'll be able to remove the Tombstone, and let's see if they can fight at the back. This Sumail looking for the Random on top of XC, and he will find it here. Guardi getting low, Aggressive just getting himself out of this fight. Fear doing so much, will be able to find Guardi, yes. They'll find the Undying here. They'll look towards XC on the Tusk. Solar Subject flying back towards Aoi. Sumail incredibly low, he's got the Shallow Grave here. Shiki looking for PPD, trying to chase out the Dazzle, will find it. Shiki eats the cheese, but he's going to go down as it well, potentially. Yes, he will. Shiki's going to fall. And now Sumail, he's getting low as Aggressive. He's still full health. Back with the second life. It's a 3 for 3. And now they'll be able to fight Fear as well. Soul Substitute bringing it low. It's Aggressive, has no damage. He's got enough. Triple kill. Aoi looking for the TP. Can they cancel it? Yes! The Searing Chase is going to be a 2 wipe for CDC. GG! They've outplayed EG. What a performance from CDEC. Coming back from what looked like the most horrific early game. Just dominating EG that one fight in the middle lane, getting the 2 sets of racks, and then after that, Aggressive Ember Spirit getting out of control, and EG just didn't have an answer.
And that last team fight, that was probably the best EG could have hoped for. They get a full static link off on Aggressive, so he loses a lot of damage. They destroy the Tombstone. They get a really good Requiem. But the Aegis and Cheese, CDEC just with too big of an advantage going into that fight.
What a